Hello everybody, I'm Chris Bottger and welcome back to another album review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Beach Boys' 1970 album, Sunflower. Sunflower is a joyous album, to say the least. Everything on here is a happy or feel-good song. Even the only song that isn't straight up happy does have an optimistic outlook at least. The Beach Boys were always supposed to be about surfing and fun, of course. But there isn't really anything on here that has anything to do with the beach, corals, or surfing. Most of these songs are focused on romantic relationships, and the rest are focused on the simple old pleasures of everyday life. It's all sunshine and rainbows in the world of Sunflower, but how do the songs stack up? I will break the album down song by song before finally giving my thoughts and ranking of the album as a whole later in this video. I would like to encourage everyone to bear with me and watch the whole video. Without further ado, let's hop right into it. Slip On Through is a great way to kick off the album. Lyrically, it's a pretty standard come-on, but has a great rambunctious charm throughout. The chorus here is great, one of the catchiest on the album, and Dennis Wilson's lead vocal is also great. Slip On Through starts this album off with a good balance between high energy, but also a smoothness that is apparent throughout the album. All of this is mixed with a catchy chorus and superb vocal arrangements. All things we will continue to see throughout Sunflower. This Whole World is a song about the single's love of the world and happiness to be alive. This has got some sparkly instrumentation, the ever-effective Beach Boys harmonies, and a great lead vocal from Cora Wilson. There isn't too much more I can say about This Whole World, other than it both stands well on its own and keeps the album going strong as a sophomore track. Add Some Music to Your Day is a song that talks about the power of music in uniting and bringing comfort to people. It has the trademark Beach Boys vocal harmonies again, and several great vocal parts throughout, including both the excellent chorus and the Music Is In My Soul bridge. Got to Know the Woman is a rough and tumble come-on song. The ragtime piano is the main instrument here and sounds great. The song is further flavored by Dennis Wilson's waffle lead vocal and the R&B female backing vocals on the chorus. Got to Know the Woman really helps Sunflower add some grit whilst also adding to the joyous feel of the album. Deirdre is Bruce Johnston's great grasp at ultra-soft pop. If ever there was such a thing as ultra-soft pop. It's soft, pleasing song about a girl that the singer loves. You've got a great, very smooth lead vocal from Johnston, and excellent vocal backing from the rest of the band. The backing is primarily based around a flute and also features a horn section. The really only thing out of place here is the opening harmonization that acts as a bit of a cold open to the song, which is off-key and sounds a bit creepy. But it does add a counterpoint to the overall fluffiness of this song, and was even sampled in the video game Earthbound, oddly enough. It's About Time is a horror song to follow up the softness of a previous track. It's a happy song about the joy the singer has found, both in singing but also in general. The standout here is the great vocal build-up to the finale at the end of the song. This track also has some funky electric organ throughout and a pretty heavy guitar solo towards the end. It's About Time is another good track that ends off side 1 with the same consistent songwriting and delivery we have seen from this album so far. Now, before we go on to side 2 of this album, I will remind you that if you like this review, to please like this video by hitting the thumbs up button below, hit the subscribe button, and consider watching some of my other videos after this one, as all these things help me out a great lot. Tears in the Morning is another soft and poppy Bruce Johnston song. Its delivery is pretty straightforward. It has a basic orchestrated pop backing and simple backing vocals from the rest of the band. But Johnston's lead vocal is very honest and the lyrics are quite good. This is admittedly a pretty typical post-breakup coping song, but one with some conviction in it. The song is the only song of the album that isn't straight up happy, but even then it carries a theme of standing fast in the face of a breakup and moving forward. Tears in the Morning is a song that just works. Everything clicks together quite well on it. The song succeeds both on its own, and in addition, it adds to the overall emotional range of the album Sunflower. All I Want to Do is a song with a very dreamy vocal. Lyrically, it's a pretty standard love ballad, but the presentation here is great. The Beach Boys' vocal harmonies sound downright otherworldly here, and the song has a great flow to it. Forever is another simple love ballad, in which the singer assures a woman that if he could do anything to make her happy, he could forever, and that his love is everlasting. Like Tears in the Morning, Forever is straightforward in its delivery, but Dennis Wilson's lead vocal and lyrics feel so honest that this song feels very heartwarming. All Sweet Love is a song that is heavier on the vocal harmonies, but is otherwise quite similar to the previous song. It's a song in which the singer asserts that he believes that the sweet love he shares with his partner would last forever. Cole Wilson's lead vocal here is great. Cole is always able to hit some really good and smooth high notes, while also having more grit in his voice than Brian or Johnston do, and his lead vocal here is among one of the best on the album. At My Window is a song about a bird landing on the singer's window to sing its song. This song does admittedly come a bit close to veering into the too sweet end of things, but does barely manage to avoid it. While I'm usually not the biggest fan of the more mundane musings of the Beach Boys, I like this song. There's just something really charming about it, and I really like the bird song in the backing. At My Window isn't the fourth Beach Boys song about birds, but is a solid and pleasing addition to Sunflower nonetheless. Cool Cool Water is another song on a mundane topic, and a novel that works well. This is a song about the coolness of cool water, so to speak. I really like the vocal parts on this song, especially the calm response between Brian Wilson's falsetto and Mike Love's disaffected delivery. The finger snaps are also a nice touch. As the song goes on into a more ambient part with rain sounds, and then eventually comes back with vocal harmonies and some synth that sounds like dripping. There's also running water at one point in the backing. Brian Wilson really went all in on this one, didn't he? It's a really funny song, and despite the fact that it's already been kicking around for quite a while, it is a good ending to this album. Alright, that's it for the song-by-song breakdown. So now, before we go on to my final thoughts on the album, let's look at my final scores for the songs. I give Slip on Through, 9 out of 10. This Whole World, 9 out of 10. Add Some Music to Your Day, 9 out of 10. Got to Know the Woman, 9 out of 10. Deirdre, 9 out of 10. It's About Time, 8 out of 10. Tears in the Morning, 9 out of 10. All I Want to Do, 8 out of 10. Forever, 9 out of 10. All Sweet Love, 8 out of 10. At My Window, 7 out of 10. Cool Cool Water, 9 out of 10. Sunflower sees the Beach Boys stay in an approachable, soft pop rock single-songwriter style. As such, this album is probably one of the least adventurous things they've ever done. Despite this, however, the album has been very finely crafted. Everything here has been honed to near perfection. Ever since Smiley Smile, the Beach Boys have had a problem with track after track consistency, often mixing high highs with decent-ish filler. On Sunflower, the Beach Boys overcome their prior struggles and give us what's perhaps their most consistent album. The production and vocals work their magic as usual, but for once they have a complete set of great material to match. While the album lacks an innovation, it makes up for in its elated conviction. Everywhere the Beach Boys look, they find a little magic and joy in the world around them. They don't even need a trip to the beach to do it. Granted, Sunflower is missing the more thoughtful songs of albums like Pet Sounds, or their next effort, Surf's Up, but that hardly matters when we have been given a collection of songs this strong. Sometimes you just need to sit back, relax, and listen to some fun, happy songs, and Sunflower is one of the best albums for that. As for the band, I would say the MVPs of this album are definitely Dennis Wilson and Bruce Johnston. Johnston gives us some of the best tracks on the album, and Dennis adds a real rock-and-roll sensibility on his songs that prevents the album from ever feeling too soft. Several other members of the band do have plenty of time to shine as well, though. Brian Wilson contributes several great songs, and Cole Wilson delivers some stellar vocal performances. The others do have a bit less to do, but as usual, they are key players in the group's trademark vocal harmonies. So in the end, Sunflower is a very polished product. It's a very focused product, and it's consistent through and through. I know a lot of people are going to think I'm an overly sentimental fool for this, but I would be remiss not to give Sunflower a high score. For this level of both track after track consistency and high quality, I feel that Sunflower has well earned a 10 out of 10. And of course, before we go, I do as always want to look at the album's packaging. So here we have the front. It's a picture of the band. It's a little weird. And let's face it, what is Mike Love doing here? Why is he dressed like some sort of guru and embracing these children? Like, the Beach Boys were already in hot water at this point for, on their last album singing a song written by Charles Manson, so this sort of thing really wasn't doing their image any favors. It's no wonder this album was a commercial disappointment with that on the cover. I'm sorry, even though the music's great. This is, I just said. in the back you got a really nice drawing of sunflower, this little ribbon that says ingredients, because apparently that's what music is now, it's ingredients in food. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. And of course it's in a gatefold sleeve. We've got some pretty good pictures of a band with also more Mike Glove creepiness. You've got kind of a pink ribbon around. Otherwise, pretty nice. But yeah, I mean, nothing too stellar with the sleeve here. I do generally like it. I like the little kind of ribbons. I kind of like the sunflower on the back, but yeah, it's pretty standard otherwise. So yeah, there it is, Sunflower. I quite like this album. So, if you made it through to this point of the video, I want to thank you all for watching, as I do actually greatly appreciate it. And I want to say I hope I see you in the next video. Once again, thank you, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.